going on?
Well, hello! Welcome to Drawing with Fire. I'm Valarie, your neighborhood pyrography artist, here to help guide you on your burning adventures. And I'm joined with hubby.
Okay.
And I am working on the cherry blossoms. I decided to go with cherry blossoms because I thought they would be a good balance to the orchids. We got some dark areas for the branches going on, and though the petals are different, they still kind of have the same feeling. So I thought that they would be a good mix. And I noticed that some of my lines are a little off because I just transferred the pattern. So I'll quickly just kind of connect things and put them together. Does everything look and sound okay? Let everybody get in. Alright, so got that. And these are just the basic outlines. I did wrap it. It'll wrap on the top here and on this side. I know it's hard to see, but let's get, oh, I just noticed right here I'm missing part of my leaf. So I'm just using an H lead because it's soft, it's harder, which means it's easier to erase. So, hi Paul, Heather, Cian, Andrew, Sheila, Podge. I hope everybody's doing well. It's actually getting quite warm today. I melt in heat, so let's see how that goes. Now you'll see dots. These are just so I know where the stamen tips are. And we'll just get started. Let's see here. I think we're gonna go with, what pen? Well, I always seem to start off with the spear shader, so let's go with that. I gotta make sure I turn on the right one. There we go. And we'll start at 2. Got my scratch board off to the side. And I think I'm gonna start with the branches so we can just lay in some darks. And we'll get going. And with the spear shader, I can get a little crisper line. That's why I'm going with that one. And I bumped up to 2.5. Just waiting for it to get darker. This is the Blick studio board, cradle board, with the pine cradle and the basswood top. And I also used the electric sander on this, and it took off the corner here and here. And it kind of looks like the grain's a little rougher than it should be, though it doesn't feel rough. Always a pain. I can't wait to try out the treacle ones with birch. So let's get this going. Do I need to zoom in?
Looks good to me. Maybe when you get started.
I got started.
Huh?
I'm started.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong screen. No, I mean when you get further into it.
Oh, well, we'll just do that. How's that? Is that a little better? There we go. So I forgot again to list the photo. This is from Pixabay. And I'll update the description after the live. There were more petals and flowers in the photo, and I took those out because I thought it would get too busy for what I'm doing. Though some of these will be more blurry, and the main, let's see here, this one, I think this area right here is what I'm going to have more in focus. And with these, I can use the same colors that I did on the orchid. And I think it'll work well together. So do we have any questions?
So far, no.
I wanted to congratulate Sian. She's been doing a wonderful job with her pyrography that she just started. I know she doesn't like her wood burner, but she's doing a great job with it. Awesome to see that. Now this is going to go darker. And if you notice, when I lift up and then touch down, that area is burning a little darker. And that's because the pen hasn't cooled off yet. In fact, every time I lift up, the heat recovers. And I know that's hard to see when I'm lifting unless I really pull the pen back. But it becomes second nature. So I always forget to exaggerate it a little bit so you guys can see it. Now when I do these strokes, I am lifting when I'm just going in one direction. And this is still the 2.5. So now I mentioned in the description and the title that I wanted to talk about learning how to burn quicker. And what I mean, and I don't mean by the speed of how fast your burning is, because let's face it, I'm the last one to show you that. I take quite a bit of time. But what I mean is improving your skill quicker for burning. For me, I've been burning for 12.5 years, but had I had resources like YouTube, I think I would have gotten further quicker. And I think all the videos are valid and helpful. But I think the biggest thing on helping to improve quicker is each time you do a new piece, try something different. Something you haven't burned before. Something that in the back of your head you're like, I can do this. And I'm going to learn a bunch from it. Now, it may not be your best piece, but you will learn the fastest when you challenge yourself. And I think that's the best way to go, is to challenge yourself. I also think when you get a new burner, that you should test out all your tips on a piece of wood that you plan on burning on, so that you can see how each one of those tips make a mark. And if you turn your hand this way or that way, it makes a different mark. And that helps you figure out what you like, because I do think that when you like the tool you're using, it helps you because you want to burn. You want to sit there and play with it and see what it does. When you don't like your tool, it does kind of hinder that. And all the tools are good, even the ones that I don't care for. They all have value in helping you to learn. Now, I'm not burning this very smoothly. It is a branch, so it's going to have texture even where it's dark. I don't know how well can you see the reference photo?
Well, the lights are easy to see, but the darks are a little bit harder. They just look like a solid mass.
Yeah, and I even adjusted the contrast for that very reason. Maybe it would be easier if I popped up. That one. Dirty glasses. Hate that. All right. Does that help?
Yeah. And so
I'm turning the wood because I'm trying to be careful where the heel of my tip is hanging over, because the heat will radiate and you can accidentally burn outside of where you want your burning to be. And so that's why I keep rotating. And it's also easier to get into these areas without having to stand on your head. It doesn't work as well. That and you'll get a headache. So,
well, Andrew's already got a headache, so.
Oh, I'm sorry, Andrew. That stinks. So, challenging yourself with each burning. But there is a little caveat to that. I wouldn't suggest making every single burning that you do the hardest one that you can think of. I do think in between those, you should do little ones that you feel comfortable with, that when you look at it, you're like, yeah, I did that. I did that well. And become your own cheerleader. And in doing that, it will help improve your self-confidence, which in turn, when you go to burn that next challenge, you feel more up to it. You have to be your own cheerleader. Nobody's going to do it for you. Not the way you need it. Yes, you are my cheerleader. I'm not meaning it that way.
I was going to ask you.
I'm not meaning it in that way. I'm meaning in your head. Mm-hmm. When you're working. The voice you hear is yours. So. Hi, Jesse. Hi, Patricia. For just learning, if you already know you like to burn and you're ready to make the investment in a burner, then the Optima one. And I recommend that to everybody regardless of their level of burning. It's the easiest burner to use. It's the most comfortable. And it's the best quality. Without a crazy high price. I mean, it's not cheap. Don't get me wrong. It's not cheap. But some of the ones out there are overpriced. And not as comfortable. If you don't know if you like it, and if you don't know if you want to invest in it, then I would say the Walnut Hollow Versatool, just to try it out before you do make that big investment. When you buy the right burner, then when you buy a good burner, it's a one-time investment that in theory you shouldn't have to buy another one. You can always buy pens and whatnot, but your burner should last quite a long time.
I think that's very true. And then also, like, especially in the case of burners, because each one is unique, I think that, like, once you get used to how, that particular burner works in pens, that the more you use it, the better you'll be and the more intuitive it will become, as opposed to trying to switch to a bunch of other different devices.
Yeah. But the Walnut Hollow is a good backup for larger areas too, especially for those really dark burns, if that's what you want for the background. It does work well for that. And see, my line is a little off in this area for the bulb. So I'm realizing some of the areas aren't burning as smooth as I would like, and that's because it didn't sand right. So I'm going to have to take that into consideration when I'm trying to smooth things out. And use a lower heat to kind of push the grain down. So we've got challenging yourself, testing out all your tips, also testing out your wood. Each piece of wood acts differently. So this basswood is going to burn differently than birch or poplar. And you really should test each one of your wood. I'm used to working with these two, so I don't test each piece. And I don't think you need to test each piece. If you're switching over to a new piece, a new species of wood that you haven't burned on before, grab an extra piece of that wood so that you can test everything. That helps calm down frustrations when something doesn't burn the way you expected it to, because your experience with a different wood didn't look that way. It's the same as, testing color. Another way to learn quicker or improve your skill, I really should use that term more. Improve your skill quicker is practice drawing. Because really what I'm doing, which is why I picked the name for my channel, is I'm drawing with fire. I'm doing the same thing that I would with graphite. Granted, with graphite you can use blending tools. And with this you can't, but the concepts are the same, or very similar anyway. So, we're going to use an eraser here in a second, because I'm going to get rid of these lines. I tried to go really light because I remembered from the other two pieces that this basswood doesn't like erasing the graphite paper lines very well. So, I got my big eraser, my favorite. Let's get rid of some of these lines carefully. I don't want to erase all around. Squeaky chair.
You mentioned covering larger areas, and with that the walnut hollow was good for that, but even Heather screaming, torch it, torch it.
I do need to come up with another torch piece. I'm just...
Yeah, I haven't had marshmallows in a long time.
I know. I haven't had any ideas. Nothing has blossomed. Ha! Get what I did there? Yeah. In my brain. Ha! Ha! See what I did there? Alright, so the branch continues up, which I'm thinking, without making you guys dizzy, I need to up so that I have more room to... Goodness, my chair is squeaky today. Alright, let's see here. Now I have more room to spin. Alright. Oh, I did want to make an announcement.
What's that?
You finished your bachelor's degree in fine art.
Yeah, but we got married, done. So I'm not a bachelor. So it was all for nothing.
It was all for nothing?
It doesn't count.
I am so proud of you. And I just wanted to share it with everybody.
Thank you.
You are a graduate of Northern Arizona University.
Got my grade 10.
Got your grade. They're not going to know what that is.
Eve will know.
Eve's not in here, is she?
Yes.
Oh, hi, Eve.
I said Eve and Heather.
I didn't hear. Sorry. I'm sorry. Let's see here. This petal is going to start. Yep. So, in fact, you should be walking the stage on Friday, but you're not.
Because I don't want to.
Because you don't want to, so I'm not pushing you to.
Because we gotta go to
Yeah.
the wedding.
Yes, on Saturday.
And the wedding's on Mercury.
On Saturday, we have a beautiful wedding of our younger son. So we got that to take care of. It is a busy week because I also have the AAC video going up on Thursday. And we got a close friend coming into town Thursday night. And I still gotta go shopping. Ugh, so much to do. Alright, so I don't want to outline the bud, but I do, you know, I'm going to save that for a different tip. It'll be easier. Alright, so.
Thank you, everybody.
I'm so proud of you. I know how hard and frustrating it is. Mm-hmm. Granted, all you got to do was paint and make things.
Eve's asking, why are we congratulating Jason?
Oh.
I remembered I was able to talk and walk at the same time, Eve.
And next,
quite an accomplishment for me.
And when are you going to graduate to bubblegum chewing while doing that?
That's advanced stuff.
Is that master level?
Mm-hmm. That takes years.
Yep. Your fine art degree with an emphasis in painting, right?
Yep. Studio art.
Studio art. So now you guys can start bugging him about him getting his own channel. And teaching you guys how to use the airbrush.
Maybe I'll just do another burning channel. That'd be derivative of yours. It'd be burning,
Why would you do
burning with the magma.
Why would you do it? Oh.
No, I won't. I just wanted to say magma.
Oh, you could have mentioned Hawaii.
Oh, that's awful. What's going on there?
Yeah.
I feel sorry for the folks.
I do hope that they are all safe.
Oh, yeah.
Thankfully, nobody has lost their lives. Property is bad enough. I don't know if they have volcano insurance. We don't have it.
No, but our volcano is extinct. Meaning...
I don't know.
No, it is.
I don't know.
I'm a college graduate. And I learned specifically from a geologist who's my professor. And I knew he was my professor because he had glasses.
Because he told you?
He has glasses and crazy hair. But,
because he told you he was?
That, yes, while there is volcanic activity in our area, that the volcano itself is extinct. That will not erupt again.
But we have several volcanoes around us.
There's volcanic activity. But that mountain will not erupt.
I don't know.
Okay.
Things shift.
I don't want to go into the geology of it, but yes, we could have another volcano, but the way that the mountain is structured and the activity underneath it wouldn't come up through the mountain again.
Now these lines are not on my pattern. I had to make them up because I didn't realize the pattern wasn't big enough to extend down. Yeah, down. So I had to make them up. I'm just trying to line things up.
Nah, it's not a master's degree, Heather. It's just bachelor's.
It's still work. It is still work. So when you say just bachelor's...
Well, no, she was saying that I got a master's degree. I was just saying it's not.
Yeah. Would have been nice to get mine. Oh well.
Yeah, you're just a couple credits shy.
3 credits, 1 semester.
Yeah. Andrew wants to know if I've gotten a raise because that would be no. That would be no.
Yeah, I haven't gotten a raise.
That's true.
How can you get a raise?
That's true.
Now this wood feels smooth, but it's not burning smooth. can't wait to try the other ones. Can't wait. So let's talk about other ways to improve quicker.
Well, I have a question.
Yes.
From me, not chat. So you said you always start with a spear shader. Why is that?
I don't know. It's almost like a comfort food or comfy PJs.
You shouldn't eat. It's not a food. It's too hot. You'll burn your tongue.
You could cook food.
Very small food.
Very small food. Hamster food. You know, like the little burritos and tacos you see people do for their hamsters.
You could iron little hamster shirts with that too.
There you go.
Because it's the right shape.
So no laundry with this?
Hamster laundry. Not real person laundry.
It would take
That's like something the military would do. You will iron your shirts with this spear shader.
And then clean the toilets with your toothbrush. Yeah. Alright, let's erase some of these lines so that I can figure out what's going on here. Yeah, it's just a comfort thing, I think, more than anything else. I know what lines I kind of want to start with, and I know what would give me the best layer. Because I know I'm going over these. But I can quickly lay these down compared to, say, a smaller tip where I would be doing detail. I'm not really trying to do too much detail here. Yeah, see, that did not. Let's see if I can show it to you. This wood, it's being a butthead. Not happy with that.
What are we looking at there?
This corner, this corner right here.
Oh.
It's not burning smooth.
I see that. So we have the whole crew in chat now.
Yay!
The crew.
Hi, Grace.
You're all toasties in the crew. But the crew to which I speak of is the individuals who may derail the chat and the stream at some point.
Yeah, but those are fun.
So
they like trying to see if they can break me.
I know they do.
And if I don't look at chat, Grace can't do it.
I know.
If I don't look at chat, Grace can't do it.
They'll just get me to read it.
So right now I'm using the edge of the tip because I touched down too dark there. But I'll blend it out. Yeah, this wood is not burning very crisp either. I actually, on my kit page, the link's down below, I actually removed one set of these panels, the Blick Premier, and I bumped these way down on my list because I'm not happy with them. They're not. Granted, I can't blame it all on Blick because these are marketed for acrylic and oil painting and things of that nature. They've never marketed as burning.
Well, have you tried out the new ones yet?
No, not yet. I was trying to get the AAC video done, or piece done, which is, it's now done. Still can't show it to you guys until Thursday, but it is done. And it has to do with wetlands and, what is it, wetlands and, is it rivers? So I got that done. But I used birch, my regular birch board for that. Not the treacle, because I hadn't gotten that yet. So.
Oh, Bernadette just saw Grace.
She was so happy.
She's so excited.
Alright. Yeah, let's try a different pen. We are going to try, because right now this is, I'm working on the big leaf. So we are going to try and do it with the spoon shader. See how well that does. Which I forgot to post a spoon shader over on Facebook to remind everybody. Hopefully that gave Pat time to get it on the website. I haven't checked. And this one is the... Let's see here. That one's the small one. The 0.25 curvature. Did anybody order one yet?
I haven't.
Man, my chair. I do need to get a new chair. Let's get on the screen. Now I'm still at 2.5. This is going to heat differently because the metal is shaped differently, and that's the biggest difference with tips is the different shapes heat differently, which is why you really should create a board with all your tips so that you know on heat setting 2, the sphere shader burns hotter than the spoon shader, and it helps you to pick your tips a little easier. In fact, let's see if this burned better down here since I switch pins.
So so do you think, you may have covered this at some point, but you know how like when you get a new set of pencils, or like when you get colors and you swatch everything out, but you get a set of pencils and you're like, okay, so I'm going to make a chart to see, what each graphite looks like. So do you think that if you're starting out in burning, or if you got a new burner or a new tip or whatever, that, you'd have like spear shader tip, whatever size, and then like you mark out on a piece of wood, like what it does at 1, what it does at 2, what it does at 3, so that you would know?
Yep, so it would make it so you're not, I know I'm doing it during the lives where I'm adjusting and whatnot, but in general, I don't tend to have to adjust too much.
MP, that's Patricia, right?
That is Patricia.
Patricia wants to know how our watercolor Sundays are going.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. In fact, we've extended our time. When we first started, we went, around 9, 10 o'clock, closer to 10 mostly, and would be there till about 2. Now we're down to 7 o'clock in the morning to 2?
Well, okay, but the reason for that is the way the coffee shop's laid out. There's a bunch of tables and chairs and stuff, and there's a coffee bar to sit at, and then there's 3 booths.
Guess 3.
And
thank you, Heather.
And Val,
awesome.
Val has this big art bag with all of her stuff in it.
What do you mean?
That looks like a parachute and a reserve.
What do you mean?
I bring a little bag with my stuff.
Yeah, but how many times have you said, "Oh, do you have this?"
A few.
But if
you're gonna bring all that stuff, then I may as well ask. So anyway, Val prefers the booths. I prefer the booths too, but they're a hot commodity. Like when we get ready to leave, or when somebody gets ready to leave a booth, it's like there's like a bunch of other people in the shop that are like eyeing, and then it's like
we've been guilty of that too.
Yeah, and then so when the person gets up, there's like either a mad rush, or somebody will come up as you're getting ready and be like, "Hey, are you leaving? Because
we want it.
We want this booth." So it wouldn't take much to have like a brawl break out, I think. A coffee-infused brawl.
There's been a couple times I was a little ticked because somebody took my booth.
Oh, yeah. Seriously. So not pleasant to be with Val when somebody's got the booth. She stalks them like a cheetah.
And wills them to move.
Yeah.
What is my booth?
So we get there early. Last time we got there was only one other person there, and then we get our booth. So
I've even bailed out of the car trying to get in before anybody else could get in because I want that booth. But now that it's coming on summertime, we're going to be outside, and there's a specific table that I like outside.
Yeah.
So
Heather says, because you saw chat, that they think that you do look at chat and that they can break you.
I do look at chat because Jason actually pointed at the screen for me to look.
Because that's my job. So
you told me to look.
Patricia wants to know what's in your bag. And on that note, I have to take a short non-commercial break.
Oh. Well, what's in my bag? Let's see here. I have colored pencils.
Sound like The Hobbit.
I have colored pencils. I have a 48 set of watercolors.
Valarie's bag.
I have a 24 set of Inktense blocks. I need to pull these out, but I have right now in the bag is the Fine Tech watercolors. Let's see. Oh, and I switched over to the ball tip because it'll let me get into smaller areas of this leaf. Let's see here. Graphite. 4 watercolor journals. A small clipboard. And 2 boxes with pencils and ink pens and oh goodness, what else? And no, Heather, I'm not looking up at chat right now. I know with him leaving the room, you're gonna try and will me to look. I also have 3 fountain pens and 2 of the new Ahoo brush pens that you can fill with fountain pen ink. I have to say I'm not quite impressed with them as I thought I would be. And I think that is the overview. I got a lot of stuff. And the bag works as a backpack and a regular bag with a shoulder strap. So I actually had a lot of room, but I've been filling it, so I need to remove some things. So that is what is in my 15-20 pound art bag. Okay, fine. I'll glance, Heather. Heather, you're a pain in my butt. I love it. Yes, Heather, I do like the ball tips. They work well, and I can use them for texture. He left me. See, I have my reference photo above me, and I have both a color and a black and white. So when you see me pause, I'm actually not looking at Heather, but I'm looking at my reference photo to figure out. I'm looking at the color because it's easier to see the lines, as you guys saw on what I had on the screen. And then I'm looking up at my black and white one so that I can see what the actual tonal value here. Oh, pull it down. So I'm looking at this. I have both black and white and color. So right now I'm looking at this area and I'm seeing how everything is just laid out. But then I'm looking at this area to see how dark something is. Because right here, this leaf, tonal wise, looks like much, much lighter. But then when you look at the black and white version, it actually blends more into the background leaf and how everything is laid out. So that's why, for me, it's really important to have both of these. And it's actually been working out well for me to have them both on the same page so that I don't have all these papers taped here and there, and I can just glance up at one thing and be able to tell the difference rather quickly. And I think that's another way to improve your skills quicker is have a way that works for your brain at looking at your reference photo and then taking that time to really look at it. What helps on this particular case is I actually didn't transfer this pattern until this morning, and I did it a little different. I actually outlined on the paper, on the actual, let's see, do I have both? I do have both. So I took the black and white and I just outlined my main lines because I knew if I didn't, the leaves would blend together because of their tone. And then once I did that quickly, I put it on my light box, and this time used tracing paper because I needed to be able to see the wood so I could see where I wanted to place this and how it was going to wrap around the edge. And this is a lot easier to do this way than with printer paper. Normally I would have just taken it from the printer paper and transferred, but this way it helps me see how I want everything to line up, and in darkening up these areas, easier for me to quickly do this. So that's how all this was laid out in under an hour. Alright, so I just had my pen's been on the whole time because I am working with the ball tip and it takes a couple extra seconds to heat up, but I'm using my regular soldering stand, metal, and so I don't have to worry about burning the house down. If you don't have a very strong stand for your burner, I don't suggest getting in the habit of doing that. Because then one day you may not pay as much attention as you need to, and would hate for something to happen. Alright, so I'm trying to reshape this leaf better. So let's bring it down. And I'm trying not to outline. Remember, when things are behind other things, there's a bit of a shadow from the overlap, so we want to make sure we get that. Another thing for improving is making sure you have good line art. However you choose to put it on the board, just make sure it's clear and you don't have an issue understanding what's going on. That will help you improve quicker, because you figure I've now drawn these flowers 3 times, and now that I'm burning them, it'll be a 4th time, and it's easier for me to pick out what might not be right. Maybe I didn't transfer it right. Having looked at this picture a couple of times, I can pick up those issues quicker and fix them before I burn. Now I know that after the live, when I go to sit down to work on this some more, I know there's going to be errors, because I have to tell you, this is some major multitasking, trying to burn and talk and make sure the live's looking good. I love doing it, but I'll tell you what, I mess up a lot more than I normally do. And I don't mind telling you guys that, because messing up is part of learning. It's really not a mess up. It, for me, is more of a reminder of, hey, you need to take a little bit more time, you need to pay a little bit more attention, and kind of look at things a little differently. So let's see, how do I want to put this bud in? I think we lost him. Did Bernadette scare him away? Now remember, when he comes back, we don't tell him what we talked about. So I'm going to glance up now. Let's see. Heather's asking, if we see a line that wasn't on the tracing paper, you want to know it's one of the main flowers. Well, let's see. I may have easily missed something. So one of the main flowers. Let's see here. Turn it that way. Let's see here. That's the main flower. Now these lines in the middle are the stamens. I'm not really worried about so much that. Let's see here. Now I know I missed the top petal on the main flower. Top petal. Dum, dum, dum. So we're talking this flower, right, Heather? Ah. I'm about to say, because on this, it looks right. Let's see here. Oh, I know what line you're talking about. You're talking about this line right here. So, what I can quickly do so that my brain doesn't lose it again. I'm going to throw this in real quick. That way when I go here, do this. Like that. There you go, Heather. That worked. But thank you, yes. I did miss that one. I would have noticed it as I was moving through the petals. But yes, I'd rather have it correct on the board. Now, let's see here. There we go. That works. Hi, Eddie. Alrighty. Yes, that was a very good catch, Heather. Thank you. That just goes back to taking your time. I was trying to transfer and get everything going in under an hour just for the wood. I had everything else done. Man, he's taking a long break. He left us. Alright, so because I've got the smaller tip, I can put in some little stems like that. So get that in there. I'm not worried about it being exact. I'm trying not to outline. Let's see here, I put those two together. That's alright. I'll just make this one a little thicker. Hopefully it makes more sense. There we go. Now I know it looks like I outlined, and what I'm doing is I'm pulling towards the middle so that it kind of blends out. And I don't have that look. No, Heather, you're never all that bad. Ever. I appreciate it. Let's see here. So let's get back to our leaf. We're working on this one. It has some darker areas down here. So this ball tip is at 2.5. And now the large 2.5. The large ball tip isn't going to burn as dark on 2.5. And that just goes back to testing out your tips. And also, because I've gotten a question about lighter burns disappearing, once the wood is sealed. And yes, that very much happens. And having that swatch board where you've got your really light burns, I also suggest sealing it so that you can see how each burn looks once it has been varnished. Let's see here. That actually, why does that do that? Is the leaf split? Because it looks like the leaf actually, let's fix that line before I burn it. So it looks like this leaf actually turns. I'm going to fix it here. Bring it down. So it looks like there's two separate leaves. Aha, there is. I just saw it. Okay, so this back here is one leaf. And then this is a second leaf. That's what that is. For whatever reason, it didn't make quite as much sense in the photo to me. But now I see it. This is one leaf. It might look a little confusing. Let's take this line out. Lighten that one. Hopefully that helps. There we go. I'll lighten it more, but for now, let's see. That goes like this. So this is one leaf by itself going in. And this is another leaf coming in and going down. Hi, Ingrid. Well, hi back from Flagstaff, Arizona, US. All right. We got that fixed. And see, this is part of what happens at the beginning of a burning, is fixing your lines. I should have put up a photo of the original reference photo so you could see how much this had a bunch of cherry blossoms in the background. That were kind of blurred out, and they would have looked great, but on a bigger piece. I love you, okay?
Yeah.
Do you take your medicine?
No, I have it here.
Okay. Alright.
Now I gotta go get it.
You're just teasing me now. In and out, in and out.
No.
That, I know, that just sounded so bad. And Heather is so going to be happy about it. Alright, let's take off the pencil graphite here. I'm always saying patience, and patience is very much key. But paying attention to your reference photo makes a big difference. I shouldn't have sped through it as quickly as I did. Should have been ready. There we go. Put that petal in.
Okay, you can say stuff like that because it's not like Heather's in chat. Oh, wait.
Yes, she is. Actually, Heather was a big help.
Really?
You say that like it's a surprise. Yeah, I was showing them how I did my pattern differently this time.
Oh.
And Heather had noticed that I hadn't transferred one of the petal, or I didn't finish transferring part of the main petal. So I would have caught it, but it helped to show that it's better to catch it early and fix your pattern. Do I want to know what you're eating?
No. Heather's asking if we're in Flagstaff.
We are. We talked about that, Heather. They're looking at moving out here.
Oh.
Not to Flagstaff, but to northern Arizona area somewhere. Somewhere. Alright, so this, now that we know what this petal is doing, and that we are actually looking at two separate petals, this line comes down like that, and it brings it like that. It's a bit of a curve, and these are actual yeah, this is a curve. I didn't realize the leaf pattern here. There's actually two different leaves, and so I'm having to fix that too. So they're getting to see that I mess up all the time, and it's alright.
Well, we got a lot of people in.
Do we?
Mm-hmm. I was just looking at the chat.
Hi, Laura. Thank y'all.
And Eddie.
Yes, I saw Eddie.
Okay.
I said hi to
You see Eric Draws?
Hey, Eric. He's the one that tried to cause us a fight.
Oh. Ozzy?
Hi, Ozzy. Okay, this is a feather. Yeah, this is a feather because I'm just all over the damn place at this point. This is a leaf.
Lana Goes Art?
Hi, Lana. Leaf.
Laura Music?
Yes, I just said hi to Laura.
Oh, okay.
Alright, let's put this dark in. Now, I'm not going full dark so that I have room to adjust. But I do need to know where some of it's at. What is that? Wait.
Oh, okay. I was taking my medicine so I don't start a yawning fit.
Oh, please don't. Please don't. Alright, let's see how... I'm just moving the board all over the place. Let's see how well... This is the medium ball tip. Let's see if I can get into part of the grain and fix it. When I go darker, it will have this texture. I'm expecting it. I'm expecting it. So, get that in there. Yeah, I'm going to use a bigger ball tip on that. So, where else can I quickly lay down some darks?
Ingrid V. Ayrton?
Mm-hmm.
Says beautiful work.
Thank you, Ingrid. Yep. She's from the Netherlands.
Oh.
Alright, let's get that in there. See, yeah, the photo didn't translate right to my brain, obviously. Now that I'm seeing other parts of it. And that happens. Alright. So this is a lighter leaf. Oh, sorry. This is a lighter leaf. So this is a darker leaf. That one I'm actually going to switch over to the spoon cuter for. So I can get a little smoother burn because it's a darker but smoother texture on that. So we'll lay that down. Better be heating up. Yes, I'm on the right one this time. This time. I know Heather's being facetious on her love for
what?
129-degree heat.
Oh. She had to go. She'll be right back.
Okay. I'm just waiting for this to heat up. It doesn't normally take this long. But I'm not used to the ball tip yet. Or the spoon cuter. Alright, let's go in here. Lay this down. Remember, the slower I move, the darker it'll burn. And in this case, because I'm trying to get a smoother burn, I am trying to do little things like go with the grain. The grain seems to burn better when you go with it. Oh, how's the stream being since we have internet guy out here?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Or everybody?
Looks like it's good. It's really clear.
Let's keep it that way. Alright. I could have gone higher heat.
How do you know?
Because it's not burning as smooth as I want. But I know if I go a little higher, but move my pen a little slower, or quicker, I can get a smoother burn. Oh. And right now I'm using more of the edge of the tip instead of the bowl. So, get that in there. I'm going to try to move towards the center because, like I would a leaf. That way, if anything shows, it translates as leaf. Like that. Do that. Yeah, I think I'm going to try to work on this off and on until next Tuesday, so that we can hopefully finish this one up. And then the following week do coloring. Oop, I touched down wrong. So we'll do this. I'm intentionally moving quickly, trying to lighten it up. I just want enough down right now to erase the lines. And right behind this leaf is a petal. I'm not going to tell you what that one looks like based on my lines and how I erased it. Do you see it right there? What that looks like?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't want to give that to Heather.
No.
Don't want to give it to her.
Well, Heather's not here right now, I don't think. So.
Actually, it looks possible that these are two different leaves. Now that I'm seeing that there's a gap. This is not as clear of a photo as I thought it was. My brain is not seeing it right. Alright, well, I'm going to keep this as one leaf.
Okay. There's
no reason to change it.
Okay.
And I know this burning doesn't look smooth.
Actually,
we'll get it.
Cyanique. What is her name?
Cyan.
Cyan. Oh. She says that she just loves that smooth burn.
Thank you. Let's see here. That leaf goes over the branch. So, let's see if this spoon will smooth this out better. One of the things when choosing your wood to burn on is you want to be able to find wood that lets you burn crisp lines. Not all wood. Some wood will feather out.
Oh. Are you talking like not drawing a line specifically?
No, just when you're
drawing
burning.
But you can get that clean definition in between shades.
Yeah.
Ah.
Well, and just the the shapes. Because I want some of this to be blurry and I want some of this to be sharp. And some woods have an issue. So if you're having that issue, it may not actually be you. It may not be that you're doing something wrong. It could be that the wood you chose just doesn't burn smoothly. I don't recommend oak at all.
Why?
It's a heavy grain. Very textured grain. It doesn't burn smoothly. Let's see here. Let's go on the edge of this. I can actually bump this down. We're going to do the edge of this leaf. Sorry, I need a drink. Needed a drink. Alright. Yeah, actually got warm in here. Or is it because I'm under the lights?
I think it's because you're under the lights.
Actually, I had to change the angle of my easel because what I had it at before for you guys was pretty much having the lights hitting it at 45 degrees, and then the light was bouncing back into my eyes, and I was having a really hard time focusing and seeing. So I had to alter it. So now I pulled it. It's more straight up than it was, and I'm not having that issue. So now I know it was that.
We got 2 questions.
Mm-hmm.
Heather wants to know if you're having problems with your wood.
Yeah.
I assume that's a legitimate question. It feels like one, but I'm not sure with Heather. Anyway, the second question is from Lana, and she wants to know, are there differences in burning quality within one type of wood? So I guess, like...
I get a better burn on the live edge basswood than I'm getting on this.
Oh.
So are we talking something like that?
Well, I have a related question, or maybe it's the same question, I don't know. But, so have you ever had a piece of wood that you're working on that within the piece it works differently from area to area?
On a solid piece, on a solid board, pine will do that.
Oh.
Pine can do that. Actually, yes. In my still life, when the still life I did with the ink bottle, I had that going on, and that was basswood. So yes, because grains, you figure each part of this board, depending on how they cut the board, in theory, could be different ages of the tree. Though this looks like it's one cut vertically, not horizontally. This doesn't look, it's not an end cut. So scratch that, because that's not right. That's what happens when you think out loud.
You said scratch that.
Oh, I thought I did something wrong and you're trying to get my attention.
No.
Oops. Yes, that can happen. It's happened with basswood for me. Even birch. I'm trying to think. I don't have any pieces that I can grab. But here lately I've noticed it the most with basswood.
I think that answered her question.
Okay. So yep, it does happen. Let's see here. I want to get rid of the pencil there. I think I do need to get a new chair, because if you notice, this one has me leaning back, and it hurts my back. It hurts. I've been really holding off not getting a new chair, but yeah, because I'd like to be able to sit up to go with it, but it's normal for me to start sliding backwards. And then I'm back here. So we'll try that. Alright, so this leaf is kind of doing its leaf thing. I'm trying to figure out how to explain it. It's bumping up, and I know we're upside down, but it's bumping up. It's also curving. Like this. So I'm gonna skip it until I see, so my brain processes it a little better. Now for this one, oops, bump the camera. I'm gonna go this way. I did lower my heat 2 3/4. I'm gonna go this way. Remember, I can darken it. It's easier to darken than it is to lighten. So there's a light, excuse me, there's a light edge because this is curved like a taco. Oh, it's Tuesday. Is it Taco Tuesday?
Curled like a Taco Tuesday.
Sorry, my brain did that. Taco Tuesday. Alright, so I'm not going all the way up to the pencil line because I don't want to burn it in.
It is actually Taco Tuesday.
I know, that's why I said, but is it our Taco Tuesday?
Can be if you want. Is that what you want?
Tempting.
Do you want me to make tacos?
I don't think we have anything to make tacos.
Oh, you want those kind of tacos?
Yeah.
I am going out.
Are you? Where are you going? Who is she? I'll cut her.
I gotta go get your prescription.
Oh, that's right. Strike that.
And I have to
It's just the pharmacist.
And I gotta go to a meeting.
Oh, that's right. That means I have to wait for tacos.
And kung fu.
That's right. You got a busy day.
Yep. No nap for me.
I get a nap.
It's sad. I didn't get a nap yesterday either.
What?
Wait, did I?
No.
No, I didn't.
No, cable guy. Internet guy.
Cable guy.
Well,
internet guy. Yeah.
Let's get rid of these pencil lines. So at this point, they're just listening to us talk. I'm not focused. Alright, so got my graphite out of the way there. And there's a thin, lighter line. And it's not like super bright, but it does break it up and shows you that the leaf curls like that. Like a U.
Curls like me?
Like you.
That's what
like
I said.
A U.
Like a U. Why are you talking like an Italian?
I don't know. I don't know. My brain is registering pain. Alright, so let's put this one in. Yeah.
Oh, Philip has to go.
Well, hi, Philip. I didn't even know you were here. But thank you. We missed you the last couple of weeks. You didn't tell me he was here.
I thought you said hi to him in the beginning.
No, I didn't see.
Whoops.
Whoopsie.
Oh, guess I'm gonna take a pay cut for that.
I guess so. That's gonna cost you twice the tacos. I'm happy with payment of tacos. In regards to you.
I was gonna say, you better amend that. Otherwise, people will be seeking commissions, and you'll be getting
sending me tacos.
Boxes of tacos in the mail.
Oh, no, I wouldn't complain about that.
Bite your tongue.
Does it have taco seasoning on it? Now I'm talking. You know what kind of tacos I like.
I know what kind of tacos you like, but
shredded beef, non-Taco Bell.
Apparently, the tacos that I like, being from the Great White North,
Alaska,
are green.
You might want to add that part in because it kind of sounded a little.
What, like Canadian? Canada? Sorry.
You said the Great White North.
Yes, it's Canada. It's Alaska. What?
Never mind. I can't tell you with my eyeballs.
Oh. Anyway. So, apparently, the kind of tacos that I grew up with are not real tacos.
No, they're not real tacos. Ask Heather. Heather should know what real tacos are. Real tacos.
So you have a question, actually several. Ingrid and Heather are asking which paper are you using to transfer the image to the wood.
This paper, the actual paper or the graphite paper?
I think it's graphite paper.
The graphite paper I used was walnut hollow. Graphite paper. The paper that I popped up on the screen with my pattern outline. This is just tracing paper. Keep stuff.
Threw it on the ground.
Alright, let's see here. This is darker. This is actually kind of blurry right here. So I'm gonna make sure that my burn is softer. And that's really gonna be hard to explain. What I mean by that. Like in this leaf, I've been putting more detail into it, and when I want something softer, it's just mainly less detail. That's the only way I can think to explain it, because unfortunately sometimes some things are just you just do it and you're not quite sure how you did it. If that makes sense. And I know that's frustrating for people new to burning because they're like, well, tell me. And it's like, I can't. Because I don't know. The more you burn, the more things will become second nature, the way you like to do things. You may not like to do things the way I do, and that's fine. I have a certain vision for my art, but I definitely don't think you should do your art the way you do mine, if you don't want to. But the techniques are still the same. What you'll look at is still the same. You just may have your art communicate in a different way. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I hope it does, because now I'm just thinking tacos. I'm not kidding you.
Oh boy.
You're getting taco.
We had fajitas.
I don't care. It's Taco Tuesday.
Oh dear.
I have tacos on the brain.
Well, I'll just swing by Taco Bell then.
You do that, you're not allowed back in the house.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
If you want to eat cardboard and whatnot, then so be it. You just don't bring it for me. I want the real stuff.
There's like a wealth of material. Heather's been good.
Yes, she has.
I'm expecting a lapse at some time. This is like 2 streams where Heather's been good.
But it's okay.
It would take... Heather's like...
Now you're just trying to egg her on.
No, I'm not. It's a commentary. Heather's like just always right there on the line between the light and the darkness.
But that's the fun line.
And it would just take a nudge to push her into the darkness.
Is Grace still here?
And Grace, yes, and
Okay.
Grace would follow her willingly in if Grace didn't pull her in. If Grace didn't yank and just pull Heather in.
Yeah, for somebody new who hasn't watched any of my lives, they are so confused right now.
Yeah, and Andrew's here too, so there's no help there.
He's the mod ringlinger. Riedlinger. Yeah, that.
Okay, Ricky.
Tongue not working again. Oh, that's some of that. Okay, let's see here. Just looking for...
Oh, Paul had fish and chips.
That's on Fridays.
That's awesome.
At least when we were in school, that was Friday.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, see, where I grew up, well, it's just fish. A lot.
Every Friday was fish and chip day at school. Mind you, I grew up in the South, remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yep. Let's see here. My bud does not look right. I'll fix it later. This will be darker.
Call Snoop.
No doubt. It don't look right. So yeah, some of this should be burning a lot smoother than it is. So at this point, I was really happy with this wood when I was doing the orchids. And I do think these boards are okay if you hand sand them. But if you prefer to do electric sanding because, you know, your hands or whatnot, for at least the small ones, I don't recommend them anymore. Not anymore. Now I do need to check the larger ones because sometimes those will sand differently. But as for the 5x7 and the 6-inch square versions of these, I say no to electric sanders. It just does not sand very well. Let's get this leaf erased. Don't need that line. I hope nobody's at this point bought these and tried to sand them. If you bought these, go for go ahead and use them, because no electric sander. Big no.
Okay.
I'm just not working right. And I don't like to say bad things about things, but this is just not working well. Not burning as well as I would like. Now, some of this graphite is not coming off, which has been an issue with in the past. These are just the sanding sticks. And I just carefully, this is the finer side that I'm using. I'm using the eraser to pull up. I'm gonna need, I'm trying to go with the grain, so I'm not going back and forth this way. I'm going with the grain. I can erase in any direction. Alright. I'm okay with it lightening up the burn because it's not the last layer. I'm not worried about that. It did keep it relatively smooth, so I'm happy about that. Make sure it's on camera. My seat keeps...
Grace is asking, what about me? I'm not sure what that means.
She's talking about her being good.
Oh.
Like, you were talking about Heather being good? Pretty sure that's what she's talking about.
Gotcha.
Is Grace being good?
Yeah. Grace has been good.
Give her a flame.
Oh, but Bernadette showed up a little while ago. That was
I thought that was supposed to be a punishment.
That was a reward, right?
Alright.
And Eve's back. Well, she left for a second.
Oh, okay. Let's see here. Did Ingrid have a question? No, I
don't think so.
Yeah, she does. I see it.
Oh.
Ingrid's asking, just burning exactly on the line. I try not to burn right on the line because I'm not outlining. Different styles. If you're doing line art, then that would be fine. Especially if you're doing darker line art. But for what I do, I try to get as close to the line as I can without actually burning over it, if I can help it. Because then it makes it harder to remove from the board. And with lighter burnings, you can see the graphite does show. Like right here. Let's see how well I can erase it. Let me zoom in. Let's see here. That's really zoomed in. Alright, so right here I have some graphite. And the heat did go over it a little bit here. So I need to try to get rid of it as much as I can. Because if you look, where the heat did go over it, right here, you can still see the graphite right there through the burn. And I don't want that. Even if it's a practice piece, I never know what I'm going to do with the pieces. And sometimes they end up in competition, and I do know the judges look for things like that. So it's just easier if I stay in the habit of not burning over the lines. No, it's not 100% foolproof. It's going to happen. And that's why I also like to use lower heat, because I'm more likely to get it removed than if I just barely touch over it, versus if it's a medium burn and I can still see the lines. I'm trying to see if there's another spot. Let's see if I darken this. Here's the show. I do want to recap real quick. So, again, I wasn't talking about burning a piece quickly because I'm just the wrong person for that. It's not going to happen. I was talking about learning and improving your skills quicker. I know. Yeah, my energy is going like that. Oh well, train just derailed there. Oh, skills
to pay the bills.
Improving your skills quicker. You don't have to take 12.5 years like I did. I didn't have you to. I had actually no idea what the hell I was doing. I was just doing it. But I do think there's a lot of things I learned in just doing it. And there's a lot to that. So have your practice boards. See how things work out. Challenge yourself on the pieces that you choose to do. With this flower series, other than the sunflower, and the little flowers and Eddie's burning, the cat burning, other than those, I haven't done any of these flowers before. These are all new to me. These are all a challenge that I haven't done before, which is why I wanted to do them. Because there's still things that I'm still learning myself, and I hope to never stop learning.
Sorry.
And if I stop learning, then my art will stop growing. So I'm not interested in stopping. Let's see if we get some of that. I definitely don't know everything. And even if I know most of the techniques, there's still a lot of things I need to practice on. My art isn't 100% where I want it to be, but overall in the scheme of things, I'm happy where I'm at now. Does that make?
Yeah.
Did I explain that right?
I mean, so.
Okay, because I know you understand me. I'm worried about other people understanding me because, well, you know how my brain works. They don't necessarily know. And I don't know that they want to know.
I think people are relieved to hear you say that they don't need to do 12.5 years.
To improve?
To improve.
I know. And I know you may look at what I'm burning or what I've shown you and think that you can't do it. Believe it or not, these are beginner pieces. I'm a beginner on flowers. So what you're watching me do is a beginner piece because I haven't done it before. I've never burned cherry blossoms before. Now ravens, I've done 3. Bears, I've done 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 4. 3 of them I still need. 2 of them I still need to finish. 5. 5 bears. Oh wow, I didn't realize I had so many bears.
Yeah. 5 bears.
So those aren't quite so new to me. But these flowers, every one of them is new to me. And I'm a little nervous. And I look at it going, well, that's a lot. And I take a deep breath and go, but I got this. It's not going to look pretty in the beginning. I know this looks crappy, and I know why. It's the first layer. It's just getting everything kind of blocked in. It's my brain trying to figure out where I want to go with this. But the more you do that, the more you practice doing that, the quicker things will get. You'll spot things quicker. Your brain will work out quicker how an oops can be fixed. your brain will spot where your line art is off a little bit. The more you practice, the more those become second nature. But you have to actually practice, and you have to actually pay attention to what you're doing. I don't have any issues with those who just do line art and they do it in one tone, and if that's how they want to do their work, awesome. But if you're trying to do realism or something similar to it, and you want nuance in your burning, then you have to take that time, you have to practice. And hopefully, I'm trying to give as much information as I can so that helps you also. Like I said, I didn't have any information, and that's why it took so long, I think. That, and I wasn't always focused on it. I was also doing other things. And that makes a difference, too.
Lana, well, Jacqueline Stevens is here.
Hi, Jacqueline.
So it's better late than never. Lana wants to know, what do you do with your finished pieces? Do you sell them?
I do. I do sell them. Right now, most of them, I should say the ones for the last 3 years are hanging up in an art show right now. But they are available for sale. They hang on the wall until a piece speaks to somebody who wants to buy them.
That's true.
Until then, I keep them. I definitely want my art to sell, but it obviously is not a major focus, or I'd have the website and everything done.
We'll get there.
Ugh, there's just so much. And now that you're out of school, you can help. I'm just kind of laying in the basic lines for this sleeve, since this sleeve is more of a focal piece in the photo. But I did extend it down. I have to figure out, I don't like how I curved the bottom, because these leaves don't curve like that. So I should bring it in like that. I think that works.
Oh, the puns are beginning.
Only now?
Only now.
What did I say?
I don't know.
Next thing you know, they're gonna have a drinking game.
Huh?
When I say something. Ball tip or something. Did I just give an idea?
Probably. Well, I hope, I think that's why my stuff hasn't sold lately, because I think when my paintings speak to people, they're like, hey, you, hey, you want to buy a painting? And people are like,
your paintings have that voice?
And people are like, no, get away from me, painting. No, I'm just looking.
No, that's not what your paintings do.
Okay.
Not at all. Your paintings are very large and they're not cheap.
That's true.
And so, neither one of our art is cheap.
That's true.
So it takes longer for a piece to sell. And I'm not pushing for commissions because those can be frustrating. Doable, but frustrating.
Commissions are the devil.
We're just going to incorporate all the favorite movies, huh? Alright. So.
Bobby, commissions are the devil.
That is one of my favorites. Alright, just trying to get this graphite that... It's not graphite. Well, yes, it's graphite, but not from the pencil. It's from the graphite paper.
I did a lot of commission work at one point, and I got burnt out.
Yeah, me too.
It's hard doing other people's art all the time.
I mean, it's nice doing the AAC, where there's at least a subject matter, but then you do what you want to do in regards to that subject matter. But I haven't really had any bad experiences with commissions. Other than when somebody says, oh, I want this. And more times than not, it ends up being lettering, which is my least favorite thing to burn. And then they give me their logo for business or whatnot, and then tell me to put my artistic flair on it, and then want it exactly like they gave it to me. It's like, I don't know what artistic flair you're looking for, because this is all your line work. And I've turned down jobs.
Yeah.
Because I will say that YouTube takes up a lot more time than even I expected.
Oh, yeah.
But, so that's the downside. But the good side is it also means I'm producing more work. Especially work that I wouldn't necessarily have done.
That's true.
So, it definitely has its... And this summer I plan on having more standalone videos up. I just haven't been able to have time to do that as much. But now that you're out of school, you got more work.
I know.
The honeydew must now start. Alright. I think this is about where I'm going to start wrapping up because I am really hurting.
Man, I do whatever I want to, whenever you tell me.
Thank God that they don't believe that. So, well, I think I got a little further than we did with the iris in the first video. First live.
I'm my own man, if it's okay with you.
Yes.
So, you going to start wrapping up?
Yeah, I'm just looking at Sienna. Okay, she just burned a puppy dog.
Oh.
Looked like a miniature pincher or a chihuahua. I'm thinking miniature pincher based on the colors. Oh, there we go. This is balancing precariously. Let's see here. So we have any final questions?
No. Don't see any. Bernadette doesn't see any.
No, Heather, when I turn to a torch, I'm frustrated. Something didn't burn the way I really wanted it to burn. And I'm having a hard time fixing that burn for whatever reason. The wood's not listening to me. I kind of need a mental shift. That's when the torch comes out and I burn something. That's how it really started. And it's still kind of the same too. But I do need to design a torch piece. You're very welcome, Kevin.
Thanks, Podge.
Now, on this drinking game, I suggest either tea, coffee, or water. Unless you're not driving, then beverage of your choice. Mine tends to be water. But we're all adults here, right? Number-wise?
Yeah, I think so.
I will do a torch piece, though. So if we don't...
About time. What?
If we don't have any more questions, I think we're going to wrap it up. I'm going to try to burn on this a little bit more before next Tuesday. Mind you, we have a giant wedding with a ton of families this weekend, and it's Mother's Day weekend, so make sure you love your mother.
No.
Unless you don't, well then that's all personal. If you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you want to see after the flower series, because I'm hoping to wrap this up quickly, and then I want to test those treacle boards, so I need to figure out something to put on them. So what should we tackle next? Let me know down in the comments below, and don't forget to hit the like button, and happy burning.
Bye.
Bye.